Good evening. Tonight we're going to be making a roasted cauliflower and white bean soup. Right now I have the oven preheating at 400 with the baking sheet in there to warm that up before I put the cauliflower on. This is heating, so you want to put it on a rack. And I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of olive oil onto the cauliflower, which I've cut into flowerets. You're going to mix those with your hands, and then you're going to spread it onto the baking sheet. And then you're going to take this and you're going to bake it for 25 minutes at 450. Make sure it's spread out evenly. You don't want to have like big clumps. You want it in an even row. So I'm going to finish. Give me 1 second to finish this up. I'm going to wash my hands. Okay, so it's all set to go in. We're going to put it in the oven for 25 minutes at 450. And while that's cooking, in your pan, your fry pan, you're going to take, it calls for pancetta. I couldn't find any pancetta, so I'm just going to use regular bacon. It's a thicker cut bacon, and it's about 3 ounces. You're going to take this and you're going to render this about 6 minutes. Okay, so I've taken the bacon out of the pan that was, we did down. We left the drippings in it, plus I added a teaspoon or a tablespoon of olive oil. We're going to add 1 large onion diced, and we're going to add 2 stalks of celery diced. And we're going to let that cook down for about 6 minutes. Okay, our onions and our onions and celery have cooked about 6 minutes. We're going to add our garlic in, and we're going to let that cook for about a minute, stirring it constantly so it doesn't burn. And then we're going to add our 6 cups of chicken stock. And you're going to bring that to a boil. Okay, now that our stock is boiling, we're going to add 2 cans of cannellini beans that have been drained and rinsed. We're also going to add our cauliflower. If you look at this, I took 1/3 of it and put it aside for garnish. We're going to put the other 2/3 into the pot with the broth. So I'm just going to put that into here. And then you're going to stir that constantly until it comes to a boil again and it's heated through. And then we'll come back and we'll do the next step. Okay, it's heated through. We're going to take our immersion blender, or you can use your food processor or blender, and you're going to blend this all together until it's smooth. It'll be a few minutes. As you can see, it's all blended up. I'm going to add to that our salt, which is 3/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to add some black pepper, about 1/2 teaspoon. We're going to add a 1/8 teaspoon of cloves, ground cloves. Cloves are strong, so you want to get it as close to 1/8 teaspoon as you can. And then I'm going to add in the juice of 1 lemon, which I already took the zest off of because we need the zest for garnish. And then we're going to put in, hold on 1 second, a tablespoon of our maple syrup. Okay. And then we're going to stir it all together. And when we go to serve this, we're going to put some of the bacon. I'll do up a bowl of it so you can see what it's going to be like. We're not going to eat this right now because it's too hot for soup here today. But I'm going to take, I'll show you how we're going to do it up. Here's your soup. I'll just do a small batch. Soup, and then a little bit of the cauliflower, and a little bit of fresh lemon zest. And then we're going to take and we're going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil over it. Just a very little bit, you don't need much. And then we're going to put on our bacon or pancetta, whichever you can get. Here's the recipe. Here's the soup. See you next week.